Welcome to The Explainer. We're not just going to talk about one of the biggest questions in tech today. Nope, we're actually going to put you to the test to help us figure it out. So here it is. Can a computer think like a human? I mean, it sounds simple, right? But the implications are, well, they're huge. And this question, first asked decades ago, is more relevant right now than it has ever been. Let's jump in.
And like I said, we're not just going to lecture you about it. Oh no, we're putting you right in the middle of the experiment. You get to be the judge.
Okay, game time. Take a look at these two conversations. On the one side, conversation 1, when asked about food, they mention their mom's tacos. On the other side, conversation 2 says it doesn't eat, but would probably like pizza. Your job? Figure out which one's the human and which one's the machine. Go ahead and pause if you need a second to think it over. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. Have you made your choice? More importantly, do you know why you made it? Let's see if you got it right. So, if you said conversation 1 was the human, you nailed it. But here's the thing. The really crucial part isn't just that you were right. It's how you knew. What were the dead giveaways? Because the answer to that gets to the very heart of how we define intelligence itself. And this whole test, this little game we just played, it was actually inspired by a brilliant mind who was wrestling with these exact questions way back over 70 years ago, long before any of us had a supercomputer in our pocket. And that man was Alan Turing. You might know him as the father of computer science. He was this visionary mathematician who just wanted to cut through all the philosophical arguments about what it even means to think. So get this. All the way back in 1950, he published this incredible paper. And in it, he proposed a really simple, super elegant experiment, one designed to just sidestep all the bickering and get right to the point. See, Turing realized that if you just sit around arguing about the definition of the word think or the word machine, you're going to be there forever. It's a dead end. So he totally reframed the problem. He asked a new question. Can a machine act so human that we can't tell the difference? And that leads us to his brilliant solution. He called it the Imitation Game. Now, you probably know it as the Turing test, and the goal here isn't to figure out if a machine is conscious or has feelings. Not at all. It's much simpler. Can its conversation skills pass for a person's? The setup is it's genius in its simplicity. You've got an interrogator, right? And they're asking questions through text to two players they can't see. One's a human, the other is a machine. The interrogator's whole job is to figure out which is which just based on the typed answers. And if they can't reliably pick out the machine, well, then the machine is said to have passed the test. Okay, so let's circle back to that game we played at the beginning. What were the clues that gave the machine away? What was it about the human's answers that just felt, well, human? This is what's so cool about breaking it down. The human answer about tacos, it wasn't really just about tacos, was it? It was about family, a memory, a bit of personality with the hot sauce. The AI, on the other hand, gave this really logical, detached answer. It was basically just repeating data about pizza being popular. It was mimicking understanding, but it had zero real-life experience to back it up. And that right there perfectly highlights the massive debate that Turing's test kicked off. A debate that is, more heated now than ever before. Think about it. The machine in our game was just running code. It was analyzing language patterns and spitting out the most probable response. It can talk about pizza without ever having tasted it, right? Let alone one your mom made with way too much hot sauce. So it can simulate understanding. But does it actually understand? And that brings us to the real takeaway here. The Turing test, it isn't really just about computers. It's more like a mirror. It forces us to ask what it actually means to be human. To think, to feel, to have memories and inside jokes. A machine might get good enough to imitate a perfect conversation, but does that mean it's intelligent? Or does it just show us what makes us so unique? And that, my friends, is a question we are all still trying to figure out.